Lord Cregan Stark is remembered as a legend, the honorable wolf, the man of justice, the guy who marched into King's Landing during Hour of the Wolf and basically reminded everyone what consequences feel like. But today I want to talk about something people generally ignore. What if Cregan Stark wasn't a justice driven person but also a hypocritical person? Because when it comes to the law of succession, Cregan demanded fairness, but when it came to his own house, the same fairness suddenly became optional. So, welcome back to the plot twist. So, here is a thing about Cregan Stark that he wasn't just enforcing morality, he was enforcing order. He believed succession should have rules, and that when the rules are broken, the kingdoms bleed. And yes, he had a point. Because Dance of the Dragons happened largely because the realm couldn't agree on one simple question: who inherits when the king dies? So Cregan marches south, judges people, executes traitors, and presents himself as the voice of law. But then we look at Winterfell, and suddenly the story gets messy. Cregan Stark had 5 sons, with his firstborn being Rickon Stark. But Rickon died before Cregan, and here's the key point that most people miss. Rickon didn't die childless, he left behind 2 daughters, Sansa Stark and Serena Stark. Now, by the standard succession rules used across Westeros, Rickon's children should come before Rickon's younger brothers. So, logically, if Cregan is truly rigid, law above all guy, then the next ruler of Winterfell should have been Sansa Stark, the elder child of Rickon. That would have been consistent. But it just didn't happen. Instead of Rickon's daughters being placed first in line, Cregan's second son, Jonel, became the Lord of Winterfell. And not only that, to make it look legitimate, Jonel married Sansa, his half-niece, which basically screams one thing: keeping the bloodline claim, but we are not letting her rule. Now, you might argue, maybe that's just northern tradition, no ruling woman, right? And that's fine, that's a valid cultural point. But here is where the hypocrisy accusations become unavoidable. Cregan Stark had the power to decide how his house will handle succession. He had already witnessed a civil war start because the realm refused to respect the succession properly. He understood the dangers, yet he still let Winterfell become a mess where Rickon's daughters' claims are pushed aside. Their claims are only used through marriages, and later even Edric's children seem to be skipped entirely. So in the north, Cregan's camp basically said, the law is the law unless it becomes inconvenient. That's not honor, that's politics. And here is why this matters. This is why the hypocrisy angles works, because it reframes Cregan from being some holy symbol of honor into a more realistic person. A powerful lord who used justice when it gave him control, and then used tradition when it helped his bloodline. In King's Landing, he demanded order because it served stability. In Winterfell, he tolerated chaos because it served his house. Winterfell ended up with a long, complicated inheritance trial involving skipped heirs, dead lords, and rival claims. Later, even multiple Stark widows pushing their children's rights against one another. So, the Stark succession wasn't pure and clean, it was political and just quieter. So, when people say Starks are better than everyone else, just remember, even the North plays the game. Cregan Stark didn't just enforce justice, he enforced convenient justice. If he had applied the same strict succession standards to Winterfell, he should have been prevented that Stark succession crisis entirely. But he didn't, and that tells you everything. And that's what makes it so ironic. Cregan wanted to punish the realm for breaking the succession laws, yet his own house quietly bent those laws the moment they become inconvenient. No dragons were needed, no armies marched, just silent decisions that rewrote the Stark bloodline for generations. So, the next time someone calls a Stark different, remember this: Winterfell didn't survive because Starks were pure. Winterfell survived because the Starks were practical. And sometimes practicality does look like hypocrisy. And before you go, if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, because it really helps the channel grow. And a quick update: this channel is currently demonetized yet again. So if you want to support my work directly, you can buy me a coffee. The link is in the description. Even one coffee helps me keep making these beautiful videos. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.